Well, one of
I
the
know what I
players as
see.
the head of Brees Hall is, I'm hoping, the next player Dylan is going to bring up as a player to avoid. So who you got,
Got you.
Dylan?
I got you. Let's go Elijah Mitchell here. Elijah Mitchell, it's not necessarily that it's the guy himself, because he's a talented running back. It's the dreaded head coach, who's a great head coach, but not towards fantasy football. It's Kyle Shanahan. And the way he's used his running backs the last few years, I mean, just ridiculous. A brand new rushing leader every single year since he's been there since 17, right? And you still have Jeff Wilson, who led the team in 2020, still on the roster. You drafted Tyrion Davis-Price. You drafted Trey Sermon last year. You got your Michael Hasty, a couple rookies going on there as well, right? So there's a lot of pieces in this backfield. And I'm not saying Elijah Mitchell is going to be an absolute bust. I'm just saying it seems every single year Kyle Shanahan wants to screw fantasy owners. And right when you think you have the guy, whether, let's get Raheem Mostert, not quite so fast. There's just constant moving up and down on this roster when it comes to who's going to be the leading rusher. I don't know who it's going to be. And he hasn't done it yet to where he's repeated. And I question if he does it again this year.
Dylan, you don't like the RBCs, is what it is. This is what it's coming down to.
No, who does?
You ain't gonna like running back.
Yeah, let's draft not a bell cow.
But how many bell cows are left in the NFL at this point? There's not as many as there used to be, man. Like a lot of teams have gone to RBCs, and a lot of teams will still have of course, they'll have their leading rusher. There'll be a clear-cut difference in the amount of carries that one gets, but it's not the same as like, here's a running back who's taking 80% of the snaps on the season, 85% of the snaps, and then we use this guy. Like, that's not how they do it anymore, because they can use them, and then they can use the other weapon that changes the pace. And then as they get closer to the end of their contract, sure, maybe they get another 60, 70 carries on the extra season than they would the time before. You're not getting Derrick Henry in every single backfield.
How does Trey Lance play into this? Does with his rushing ability, does that play into this at all?
Whoa.
I think it does play into this. I think the fact that Trey Lance is known as a mobile quarterback is going to, they're going to run some options. He's going to take the chance to grab the ball and take off running with it, because his instincts are going to kick in. It's that fight over flight. So I think there'll be designed runs, kind of like when Colin Kaepernick was there and was a mobile quarterback. Obviously a completely different scheme, head coach and everything, but you don't ignore that type of talent. So I don't think he's going to be leading rusher stature or anything like that, but obviously going to be taking carries away from Elijah Mitchell as well.
He's not involved in the passing game at all, really, in that offense as well. So that's a big thing. If you're losing, and the reason why I asked you that question was with Trey Lance, was with the rushing ability that Elijah Mitchell has. If you're losing touches now to Trey Lance, along with everybody else in that backfield that you're going to be giving touches to, he's not involved in the passing game at all, really. The concern has to be there with Elijah Mitchell. He's going, let's see where Elijah Mitchell is going in PPR. He's going ahead of Brees Hall. I'll tell you that. Let's see, Elijah Mitchell, 47th off the board, going ahead of Travis Etienne, Brees Hall, Kyler. Pretty much the same thing. So AJ, who would you rather have, Elijah Mitchell or a Brees Hall?
I'm gonna take Brees Hall just for I believe exactly what Dylan said. I mean, we haven't seen the same running back take off in that backfield in a while. We always thought it was going to be Raheem Mostert, but he was Raheem Must-Hurt, so couldn't really count on him. And there's too many names that get to run. So I would take Brees Hall, who's really only fighting one other person. Tevin Coleman's only there when there's injury or they want to do something quick screen out the backfield, and even Brees Hall can do that.
But I think I would take Elijah Mitchell over Brees Hall, to be honest. And I think I don't know how much I don't like writing off Michael Carter, to be completely honest. Like he's not going to be involved. We saw last season, obviously Michael Carter went down. They still used a lot of running backs in New York. Tevin Coleman did get some work. Ty Johnson got some work. Michael Carter got some, but all these guys, they did get the work. Whether it be because of injuries or not,
mostly
they're still being used. And if you were to look at it, so who's Elijah Mitchell's backup, Dylan?
I'd probably say Davis-Price.
So would Davis-Price or Michael Carter? Who's the better running back?
Michael Carter.
So there is more of a threat to Breece Hall than there is an Elijah Mitchell.
Michael Carter's the starting running back day one.
But I'm not even if he's the starting running back. Yeah, not even if he's the starting running back. If to take Breece Hall, and I get it, the ceiling on Breece Hall is higher, but maybe he's a rookie, so we don't actually know that. We don't know that. We don't know.
I know that.
Oh, I know that.
What is okay? Is this a Royce Freeman again, AJ? Is it who is? I mean, let's go. There's busts every single
Royce Freeman.
Oh.
No,
Where
I'm
do
just
you
saying,
get Breece Hall and Royce Freeman in the
fourth or fifth
same
round guy.
damn
Every
sentence?
year there's rookies. Every freaking
Yes.
year there's a rookie that's overvalued in that area.
Factual. That is a
Every
stated
single year.
fact. There's a rookie. There's a draft every year. You are correct.
Kerryon Johnson. Oh, he's a fourth rounder. Let's get him.
So now that I got Dylan on the against Breece Hall train, Dylan, which would you take, Travis Etienne or Breece Hall?
I'm taking
Neither.
Etienne because he can catch passes and I know his role.
Hey, there you go. Wow. That's big. That's how down Dylan is on Breece Hall, though. And I'm not like, if I were to draft Breece Hall and like looking at the ADP, and I'm sure you guys all have it pulled up as well. You look at his ADPs being drafted in PPR leagues, 53rd overall. Ahead of, like, I'm already going to be waiting on my quarterback. I would take Kyler Murray over Breece Hall. I would take Brandon Cooks over Breece Hall. I would take Hollywood Brown over Breece Hall. Joe Burrow over Breece Hall. We're looking probably around this. So RB28 is Miles Sanders. I would start considering Breece Hall over Miles Sanders. That's where I would. Not even that, really. I'm dropping him even. I think I'd drop him even more. The next running back is RB29, and it's Devin Singletary. That's the line. RB29 for Breece Hall.
Too far.
Yep.
I think it's too far. I think it's too far.
Off potential. So I remember. So I was looking back last year. I did some research here to try and determine where Javonte Williams was drafted last year, because he was the guy that everyone was very high on. What?
Let's go.
Yeah. So Javonte Williams last year was being drafted. Let's see. Where is Javonte Williams at? He's so far down. Is he that far down? Wait a second. Hold up.
Hold
up. Yeah, last year.
Williams is a nice rookie. You got screwed with Trey Sermon. You'll get screwed with
okay, here it is. Javonte Williams was taken as the RB24 last year. So right where Breece Hall is going now is where Javonte Williams got drafted last year, which is fair. To play devil's advocate here, and I know Aaron's probably watching this. Oh, why are you going back on? To play devil's advocate, you might get that same type of season as what Javonte Williams had this year, because you're going to have a Melvin Gordon type situation where Michael Carter is going to get touches, maybe better touches and more touches than what Breece Hall gets, and you're hoping that you just give Breece Hall the shot, because once Breece Hall gets it, he's going to take over. But again, we don't know.
I'm angry. That's not a good comparison. Melvin Gordon's old. Like, I know he still got his carries and stuff. This is not a comparison here, and I think Aaron would agree with me if he's listening, wherever you may be. I think looking at they're two young running backs. They're both getting touches. This is more of a James Robinson, Travis Etienne situation where they're two young running backs.
We don't know how that looks.
Yeah, we don't know how it looks. We don't know how it looks. It's scary. But you get a young running back, and then you get a rookie running back. Both of them should still get their runs. They invested a pretty solid draft capital in Michael Carter as well. So I think they're both going to get run, and it's going to be a split backfield based on how they want to draw it up over there with Robert Salah and company.